All right, Knights of Apollo, what's up, guys? Hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for stopping by. Now, obviously, today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm in the flesh. I'm not just a voice over some gameplay. I am going to be showing you a trip to Prague. Now, I think you guys can put two and two together, and you probably know why I went to Prague. Maybe because, not only is this city beautiful, full of history, beautiful people, great people, the Czech Republic is an awesome country. Of course that's true, but the big reason is that one of our favorite games, one of the best games ever made, is inspired by the area, the Bohemian Czech area. Of course, I went for an event for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, if you're expecting me to talk about anything I did during that event, I really can't talk about the game. I can't, so don't expect any information about the game. I can't talk about it. I will be able to talk about it at a later date, so look out for that. I don't even know if I can say the date, but it will be soon. So I will save that for another video, which I'm really excited about. So the rest of this video is just going to be kind of me just talking about things I saw in Prague and some of the people I met, and it's just going to be a fun little travel vlog. I guess it's not really a vlog. I attempted to make a vlog. I mean, here's me starting the intro to what would have been a vlog, but I felt like such a goober. Like, you feel so uncomfortable recording. Even now I feel a little uncomfortable, but I just couldn't do it. Like, I could do it, so I filmed a little bit like at my house, but in public I just couldn't, I was too shy, I guess. But anyways, let's jump into this trip. I'm just going to do a post commentary of things I saw and then show you some footage and whatnot, and hopefully you'll enjoy this video. So anyways, I am around the Atlanta area, so I had to fly from Atlanta, and there's no flights that go directly to Prague from Atlanta, maybe somewhere else, but I actually took a trip to Paris, which is awesome because I actually just left Paris, so it was really cool to be back, even though it was just to get on a connecting flight. And then from there I took Air France and went to Prague. And then I went to the hotel, and at this point, guys, I have been up for more than 24 hours. It was quite the trip. It was like more than 12 hours, I think, of flying, or maybe roughly 12 hours of flying. So I took a 4-hour nap, and I was only really there for one full day, which would be the next day. And that's the event. And the event is like an all-day thing. So I tried to squeeze in as much as I could to see Prague. So I actually went out to go to downtown Prague. I was about 20 minutes away from downtown Prague. And I went there for a restaurant. I met a friend there, and obviously my wife was with me. And it was like a medieval restaurant. We'll get to that later because it is really cool. But I left a little bit early before the dinner reservation and just walked around town. And guys, oh my gosh, like, Prague is so awesome. It is such a beautiful town, again, full of beautiful people, and like the churches there, the buildings are so, it's like they preserved it in time. I think, a big reason for that is World War II. Prague didn't see too much destruction. So like a lot of the buildings just feel like they've been stuck in time from like the 1400s. And you walk into this big courtyard, and they got this cool statue of Jan Hus, I believe is how you pronounce it. Please forgive my pronunciation. He's the priest that started the Hussite movement. I guess technically he would be like the first Protestant. I don't know, again, I don't know in terms of a theological point of view what the correct terminology. I think some refer to him as a neo-Orthodox. Anyways, besides the point, they got this cool statue, and then behind the statue they've got a Hussite church, which is just, it's gorgeous, it looks amazing. And they also have this really cool astronomical clock. So this is a clock that tells the time. I think it tells like the Earth's tilt and position, and it tells a lot. And then every hour it does a little show, and the windows open, and like you have the saint, like some saints look out the window. And I think there's even like a skeleton that's like ringing a bell, and that's kind of like, you know, morbid, like saying, another hour closer to death or something. I don't know. But it was so cool. And just walking around there with the old, and it was just so nice. It was so quaint. It was clean. It was just, you felt super safe there. You know, people were friendly. They had, like in Paris, they had like restaurants with like outdoor seating, and it was really nice to it was just like, wow, I feel like I'm like a stable civilization, you know. I feel like I'm in a proper country here, you know. It was so cool, and I definitely want to go back to Prague because I just didn't get enough time there, and I didn't get to eat enough, you know. I wanted to eat more of a traditional Prague food. But anyways, after walking around the beautiful downtown kind of area, we went to the restaurant, and the restaurant is kind of like this theme thing. It's like a medieval fantasy theme. It's called Pavouka. If I'm even remembering it correctly, I'm probably butchering the name, but it's really close by that downtown area. It's like, you know, a 4-minute walk, if even. And it was really cool. It's like in the cellar, and it's got these like big chandeliers and this community-like sitting area. So you were sitting next to strangers, which was really cool because we sat right next to other Americans. I was like, wow, I just didn't expect it. And they were from California, so they had even longer flight, and they were super nice. So, but they had some really cool performances that would, you know, like every once in a while they would do a little performance, and it was really awesome. So after eating the delicious meal, I didn't have much time because I had to wake up early for the event. So I tried to squeeze in a little bit more of walking around. And we didn't really intentionally kind of go anywhere. We just kind of walked around because we felt so safe. Every alleyway, every street was clean. It looked safe. Nobody looked like they were an issue. I mean, it was just so, I don't know, maybe because I live near Atlanta and you know, you got to be careful in Atlanta where you go. So it just was like, oh, this is so bizarre. You know, like I'm in a proper country where people are Czech and it feels so safe. And they had these cool shops and everything. And it was cool. But we stumbled upon Charles Bridge, which is a famous medieval bridge. I believe the emperor would use to be anointed, I suppose, but he would take the bridge to the castle, which we saw as well. And this bridge is really beautiful. I'm showing it here at night. It looks so cool, and it's kind of cool at night because they've got this thing where you walk under it, and if you look up, I tried to film it, but if you look up, there's a crown. So it's like when you walk through, you get crowned. Anyways, on the statue, these beautiful statues of like saints. They had the crucifixion, the Jesus, you know, Jesus on the cross, the crucifixion. And it was just beautiful. It was just like, man, this is a beautiful bridge. I'm so glad that they still have it. It was cool to be on it. And then we saw a little bit of the, like I said, the castle, but I didn't have time to go to the castle. I had to head back to the hotel and get ready for the whole reason I'm there, which is the event. But unfortunately, something really disappointing happened, and it wasn't Prague's fault. It wasn't Warhorse Studios' fault. It was completely my fault. So when I got back to the hotel, I was so jet lagged. Remember, I only had like a 4-hour nap. I didn't get any sleep. I guess it was travel anxiety. In my head, especially after walking around in the town a little bit, I got a full belly. You know, I only got 4 hours of sleep. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. Like I'm gonna hit the pillow and I'm going to La La Land, and then we're gonna do some fun stuff. You know, like I'm so excited. And then you lay there and you're just like, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't sleep. I'm what's going on? Like, and then you start having like anxiety and. So I had some major travel anxiety. I think I had anxiety about the event. In a good way, I think I was just excited mixed with like, I don't know, I just didn't want, it's just typical. I wouldn't say it was social anxiety. I was in a new country. I didn't know what we were doing for this event. It just created some anxiety. And I've always struggled with anxiety. Probably like once a month, I have a night where I don't sleep at all. And it's tough. Like even for me to go to sleep, I often have to go through a whole system. It's like I have chamomile tea, I read for 2 hours, I make sure I wind down, I don't look at my phone, you know, just to sleep. So I don't think I've ever been that tired before in my life. I think I borderline was having almost like a hallucination. It was really scary. Anyways, my stomach was hurting, the sun was up, I was like, screw it, I'm getting up. And, you know, unfortunately my wife didn't really sleep at all because if I can't sleep, she doesn't sleep because I guess I move around. But I was like, this is why I'm here, I gotta push through it. And so I did. I saw some of the other media there, some other YouTubers. I met Angry Joe. That was really cool. That was kind of, you know, I've watched him for years, and just to kind of see him there and say, hey, I appreciate your stuff. That was cool to meet him. I met some other YouTubers as well. But they took us on a shuttle, and the shuttle was going to take us to Gutenberg, which is where like certain scenes of the game are inspired by. So we were driving, it's like about an hour, 10 minutes away. So I tried to sleep on the bus, didn't happen, but I did get some great shots of the farmland of Czech Republic. And oh man, it's like fairy tale. It really did feel like I was in the game, you know, like the parts in the game where I'm traveling between cities and you come across a big open field. It felt the same exact way, seeing the beautiful landscape of the Czech Republic. It is a beautiful country. I admire countries that take great importance in beauty, in architecture, in preserving the nature of their country. And I just love, in America, it's like you drive, don't get me wrong, there's beautiful places in America. I don't want to like hate on my own country, but there are some places where there's like a random box store, it's like, oh, this is so ugly. But in their countries, they had these old buildings, and it was just so rustic and beautiful, and the land was great, and it was a real treat to just even drive to Gutenberg. And then once we got to Gutenberg, it was like a cool little town on a hill, and they had this beautiful cathedral that I think was built in the 1300s.
Oh dear. We'll have a drink in a bit. Yeah, definitely.
Oh wow.
Best, of course, because we trained with all the losers before, and now we have the winners here, the winning team.
Yeah.
But I would lose my voice. You will hear my voice a lot today. So give me a second. I will come down and welcome you properly. Give me a second.
3 hours later.
I brought my card here, so you guys don't go inside because that's my place. That's your place. All right. Thank you for coming. I hope you had a good trip. Hey Jeff, nice to see you. Nice to see all of you. Well, those will represent me. So if you have a problem with me, I will let them know, and they will let you know. So, but the medieval way. You don't want that, I guess. I'm happy that you're here in Gutenberg, silver mining city, big part of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And it's actually this place here, as we stand right now, where in the announcement video, if you have seen it, where Henry or Tom McKay for the first time is seen and saying welcome to KCD2. Hans Capen, Luke Dale is coming out of that door and welcoming the same way as I am welcoming you right now. So this is where everything started, where the road to the release of KCD2 started. So that's why our tour is starting here today. It will be a very long day, so I hope you're prepared for that. Don't worry, I have coffee, Red Bulls, everything is there. Proper gamers menu.
Are those grapes?
Hey guys.
What if there's a way to charge your battery? I brought a USB.
Yeah, that was, well, I should have brought my charger.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
should have brought a portable.
And then we did some stuff which I can't talk about, but unfortunately, and this is what it really sucks, I had to leave the event early because I was having a tough time. I was so sleep deprived. Like I said, there was moments where I just didn't know what was happening. I think I just was so delirious. Like there's times where I was doing something and then I was thinking, wait, what am I doing? Like borderline, like I felt like my heart was racing. I was on the verge of constantly fighting back a panic attack because I was so uncomfortable because of the lack of sleep. So I really tried to push myself because that's why I went there. But I had to leave, like, it sucks, man. It's one of the most like disappointing things about it because I went all that way for for this event, and I can only do like, I think I did like 30% of it, you know, because it was a long event from 8 to like 11 at night. If it was like a 6-hour event, I probably could have just kept pushing through. But I think in my head, the idea of like staying up till 11 after being so sleep deprived, I was borderline a little terrified because I've never pushed myself that far in terms of lack of sleep. And I honestly, one of the reasons I wanted to leave early is because I didn't want to make a scene. I didn't want to ruin the event for anybody else because I was going to have like a psychotic meltdown. I'm like, you know, like I start seeing imaginary nights or something, you know. But anyways, I went back to the hotel about 5 p.m. I got there, and then I slept. I slept for like 12 hours, 13 hours. And then in the next morning, it was my flight home, but we had some time. So I went to the castle that I was talking about that we saw the night before. And it was so cool to go in that castle, and they had a beautiful, massive cathedral, which I spent most of the time there. It's the Cathedral of Saint Vitus, I believe. I might be mispronouncing that, but it's awesome. Just look at some of these clips. After checking out the cathedral, we then went to the next spot in the castle, a cool like area, which is a Basilica of St. George. Again, very cool, a very small, intimate kind of space, and that was really awesome to be in such history, be surrounded by such history. That cathedral, that basilica was just, I saw a lot of cathedrals in France and in England, and the one in Prague, I think it's probably my favorite. It's just so grand and just a beautiful piece of art. So that was really cool. And then we went into a royal room, and this royal room, I guess, is where the king would or emperor, the Holy Roman Emperor, would host events, have little parties, and talk to people, diplomacy, whatever.
Wow, look at the roof, the ceiling. See the ceiling? Yeah. Wanna go in here? I see it.
Acrylic on.
It was an awesome trip, guys. It was an awesome trip. I cannot thank Warhorse Studios enough of how understanding they were and how helpful they were, and just inviting me to this event was so cool of them. And I'm so bummed. I have such shame about having to leave early. You have no idea. This is like one of my favorite gaming companies. I wanted to be there longer than what the event was supposed to be. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'm glad I pushed myself. But that was my trip to Prague. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. It is awesome. The people are nice, the food's great, and it's full of history. So full of history. So it was great. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Look out soon. All right. I don't know if I can say when, but look out soon. I'll be able to talk about some more details. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.